everybody, nice to have you here. I spent last 6-7 days at Adobe Summit, and I thought that it definitely makes sense to make a small recap. But Adobe universe is huge, and I'm mostly working with commerce part of it. Means I think recap will be more commerce based. I will not touch all other new stuff I learned, I saw, I watched, because it's quite massive. It's honestly, I'm not a specialist in this area. I more can make a explanation and description of stuff which can be interesting, which looks interesting, but from professional point of view, I'm not really a specialist here. I can only share my opinion. In commerce area, it's a bit different. As commerce, it's my daily routine. So I want to go today with a small recap of what's happened on a summit in relation to Adobe Commerce news. And there were quite a lot. I've been on the last summit, and my feeling after it was not very, it was okay. I was not very motivated. There was not so many commerce related topics. And we went there because I made it to the final of Adobe Commerce Rockstar Award. So I was invited, presented the topic, and also talked to different people. But first, there was not so many Adobe Commerce topics at all. Second one, there even were not so many Adobe Commerce people from Adobe side. This year I had the similar feeling before I went there, but they totally changed after I came home. So there was a bunch of Adobe Commerce news and topics. They are not Magento news, as not Magento open source one, as yes, it's Adobe Commerce because it's Adobe Summit event, means you could not apply it for your Magento open source projects mostly. But I definitely think it would be interesting if you are working in an agency or you're working as a freelancer with Adobe Commerce systems to see what is coming and where the Adobe is moving on. And we will do it today in the form of the presentation I prepared. So let me shortly start with this. Short Adobe Commerce Summit recap. There are definitely several topics I want to highlight. I will not touch all of them, but the biggest one. And what I will start from, it will be, let's say, topic which if you working with Adobe Commerce, you high probably heard it for last time. It's edge delivery services. It's a new front end which Adobe promoted like a new commerce front end, and it was already there for IEM, for Adobe Experience Manager. So they're scaling it now to Adobe Commerce side, quite slowly scaling because you still cannot use the full Adobe Commerce features when you're working with it, but at least you can do something. And to have more clear understanding of it, I definitely will go very shortly today about this one. I would recommend you to watch the roadmap of Adobe Commerce presentation. It's already available publicly. You can watch it online. I will paste a link in the description. What I will show now, it's more just to give a short understanding what is it about and how they manage content. So edge delivery services, it's IEM, now Adobe Commerce front end, which allow you to manage your front end by using the docs, so the Google Docs, Word, or you still can use AEM editor for doing it. And let me shortly show what do you need for it. So you need the boilerplate. That's a GitHub repository you can clone. So it's like AEM boilerplate commerce. I will paste all the links after in a description. And so you just clone in it and then configure it. There are like a manual. I also will paste a link to it, how to go through the base installation. It's quite easy steps. I'm not a front-end developer, but that was quite easy for me to follow through. Even documentation is not fully completed. Then you have your front end, which looks like that. So that's your folder structure, that's your pages you are using, and if let's say we have a look on the index page, that's how the home page looks like, with some banners, text, product information, here. So like a product teaser you can do, and this one is already like a drop-in, they call it drop-ins. So part of the codes which connected to Adobe Commerce in this case, so that's a plain JavaScript which fetch and require data and build in then the front end for you. Technically quite simple, and if you will deploy this one, then you will see the page like that. So it's quite easy to work also locally with it, so try it if you want to follow the documentation steps. Looks quite nice. I can get a short personal feeling, which is not formulated yet fully. So I would not judge here how good or bad is it. My first reaction was not very optimistic. I mean, yeah, editing the content and the pages of the website is in the Word or Google Drive. That's look a bit strange. And from developer experience, not look really interesting. And I had with this feeling for a long time. Now it's not much changed because I still didn't work with it. That's why I told I cannot judge on it really, like from professional point of view. But I talked a lot with different people, and especially with the clients, also with our own clients. And it looks like clients like it. That's like an opposite direction of this one, because for client and the management teams, much easier to understand how to manage content in the docs rather than in Magento admin or with a page builder, or like hire the developers team that will require you and will charge you for 2-3 hours to change a link somewhere on a website. So we'll see. I'm quite optimistic, looking forward. Let's see how it will develop. If shortly jump back to my presentation, then it's not much possible to do right now. You have only Edge Delivery as a service, and then you have only PDP pages available, which you can build. So you can build just a product view page. But let's say all dynamic components like cart, checkout, account, or any custom implementation, they're not ready. They claim to be somewhere in Q3 or end of year 2024. So let's see. Wait, let me shortly have a look here. Have a look on the scripts. There are like already some mini cart stuff and so on, so you can see they're working on it. Let's see how it will develop. I will not tell more about its delivery for now. You can again watch the link I pasted there. There you will see more examples on this one. Wait, where was it? And yeah, that's another example how you manage the PDP pages. So everything happened in Word. You can also use AEM Assets, which is connected there. So if Adobe is moving forward with this one, they will connect the services together. So it has to be convenient for the end user. Let's see how convenient it is for developer. CDP synchronization. The CDP or Adobe CDP is a customer data platform. I just will read it shortly. It's a tool that helps businesses manage all the customer data in one place. So technically, Adobe has a CDP which collects all information about customer, if it's logged in user, if it's like a guest users also. They have own profile there, and it's collected through all services Adobe provides. So it's not only Adobe Commerce, and before it was like no Adobe Commerce at all, but CDP was there. So it's also AEM, it's different behavioral data from another services which collects some kind of the profile of you. And now it was released already like before with a prototyping, but now you can connect your Adobe Commerce to the CDP. So you have all Adobe Commerce data, all clicks, behavior, moving the customers through the page, the order information, and then it's collect them to the CDP and then create a real-time segment. So it's separating the users on different segments. Depends on what are they working on or what are they doing. And then you can do different stuff with it. Currently available only it's in beta, share commerce customer profiles. More stuff will come in the future. And what you can do with it as commerce developer, you can have additional promotion for those specific users, depends on their segments. You can have banners, so you have a really big amount of information that's been collected. Then, with this information, you can work to propose to your users products which you want to sell and which will be interesting for them. And that's like one example from the video from the summit presentation, where you can see, let's say, which events and how events been collected through the user journey on a website. Also, you can see the segments which been created or auto-created for the user, and yeah, they use by CDP to put you in some group of users so they can promote you the products in the future. So you can have you can build then dynamic blogs, you can have a voucher discounts, recommended products, and so on, which you can integrate on your shop. And if you see the screenshot, it's a Luma screenshot. Yeah, also you have, for that you would need the native Magento module, Adobe Commerce module you need to install, so then you see all the groups which exist for this instance and so on. Cool, let's move to next one. Short but gold. It's AEM Assets integration. So if you know there existed AEM Assets, which contains information about all assets, images for your products if you're talking about Commerce Universe, and now there is available the Assets integration. Will be available Assets integration, which allow you to manage all your assets within Adobe Assets system. You can change it, you can manipulate with them, you can save, create, update, link them to products, so there's connection between Adobe Commerce and Assets. And also you can use Gen AI to generate the images for your products out of there, like directly. Or you can take existing image and then tell, hey, I want to add the nice background for it. Or I'm selling some bottles and I want that it be part of the backpack somewhere when the guy is climbing the mountain or whatever. And that can be pre-generated and then directly available through Adobe Commerce backend. So users go into Adobe Commerce, products, edit, and then they will see the images there. Good. Then one more which I knew before, and it's available, like the information about it available for a long time. It's a B2B release and it's public and you can have a look on it. There is like, there is release notes already available for beta. You can read through, but the most like two biggest part which exists there, it's manipulating with negotiated quotes. So you can work with existing quotes, split them, create a new ones, edit existing ones. So like bunch of new functionality added there if you used it. Surprisingly, out like 20, 30 B2B projects, B2B specific projects I worked on, it was used maybe once or twice, so not so popular. Maybe it's just my use cases. If it's interesting for you, feel free. The another one is more bigger. It's the company management. I don't know if I had here somewhere the screenshot from the presentation. Yes, it's that possibility to have a child account. So now you can have one company and then have subsidiaries of this company, which has like another small companies which link together. So as a user also you can switch between companies you manage. We had such use cases for real projects and we had to build it ourselves. So nicely they are releasing it now, so we would need to work again to remove our implementation and use the native one. Some pain points maybe for front-end implementation as we use it as a headless project. Like example, if you, let's say, admin in multiple companies, then maybe for one company price for the product is $20, for another and 15, so you can switch between them, also buy the product cheaper and so on. So will be available soon. Looking forward, I hope till summer we will get it and we can try it. And one more point I wanted to mention is Adobe Camera Rockstar use cases, and there have been, let's say, 65 submissions, 3 finalists, us as a finalist, you can watch in my previous video. I will not mention it here. And I will mention only one of those three additionally. It will be the presentation from Yaroslav from Atwix, only because I like the idea, and that was something new for me. What they built a Luma bridge. And the Luma bridge is the service that allows the seamless customer session sharing between Adobe Commerce and other websites, which in more practical way means that you may have your front end, let's say, built on EDS, so it's delivery services, so it can be PWA, and then you want to still use Magento checkout as default, because checkout is quite complex stuff. If you build it in it's a headless mode or with a custom front, and it requires a lot of work to be done because the whole checkout flows and use cases are quite complicated. And by using the Luma bridge, you can do this integration like smooth. So it means, first of all, user do not recognize that he's switching the website. He's still on the same URL. So he has the whole content pages is loaded from PWA, for example, or EDS, so which is quite fast and performant. Then when you go into the shopping cart, it's loaded in the native Luma frontend, and the URL does not change. So he's staying on the same website, and also the session is shared between the instances, so the iteration is quite smooth. That's what I really like, and maybe Yaroslav, I'll ping you somewhere in the future if we will have such a use case we want to build. We build it only once, but in our case there was no session sharing, so it was a bit easier. And another, like the biggest topic of the whole conference was still a builder and core. So by core I mean mesh, I mean also the services, so the stuff which is available already there, which is already in production, which you can really try, and what we are doing in our daily routine. So I will not focus on this at all here. I will have another videos about a builder in the future, but it's already there, whole documentation in there, and also in previous videos I posted some links there, so feel free. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I was quite positively surprised from Adobe Summit presentations, because there was a bunch of Adobe Commerce stuff. There was also a lot of Adobe Commerce people who working with it from Adobe side. So it was a great network event. Thanks to everybody for all your time that you spent explaining me different basic stuff, complex stuff. Yeah. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave your comment, leave your questions. If you want to hear something new or something else, also please leave me a question, ping me in Slack, Telegram, any other sources. And yeah, have a nice rest of the day, no matter in which part of the world you're located. Bye-bye.